currently at 14 weeks and 3 days exactly. Should be 11 weeks, and the bump is real. I just wanted to show y'all the bump. Hi everybody, it's week 14 of my pregnancy, and baby is due around June 15th. I have officially made it out of the first trimester, thank God. So in this video, I'm just going to be sharing with you my overall summary of the first trimester, talk about the symptoms I went through, and then talk about how I'm feeling now in comparison to the first trimester. So if you're interested to hear about what my pregnancy journey has been like thus far through the first 3.5 months of pregnancy, then stay tuned. First trimester of pregnancy, I found out that I was pregnant at around week 4. I was tracking my period and I knew exactly when I was supposed to be feeling those premenstrual symptoms, and I just wasn't getting them, and so I peed on a stick. It came out positive. I peed on 3 more sticks, they came out positive. I got a digital test, peed on that, and it said I was pregnant. And so it was confirmed that I was indeed with child. I went to the doctor's office to get a checkup a couple weeks after that because I was having a subchorionic hemorrhage. First of all, didn't even plan this. Then, you know, it happened and we're like, all right, cool, finally accept it, and now I'm freaking bleeding out. What the hell does this mean? That's also known as a threatened miscarriage. So I was bleeding heavily in a way that we're not supposed to when we're pregnant, and I thought that I was having a miscarriage. Turns out that bleeding like that during pregnancy is called a threatened miscarriage, and it's because I had a subchorionic hemorrhage. That has now since resolved. I stopped bleeding at around week 9, thank God. But it was scary there for a little while because I really thought that I lost baby. During that first trimester, I was really hormonal, and the impacts that the hormones had on me was on my mood, and so I would definitely go from being really happy to really melancholy and sad. I spent a lot of time sleeping, and I was just achy all the time. It felt like I was always about to get my period, like I was always having cramping or pressure that just wouldn't resolve. As a result of how low my mood was, I suspected that I might have been having antenatal depression, which is something that people don't talk about very often, but because we often talk about postpartum depression because we know that baby blues come after people give birth, but what's not talked about as much is the fact that even the hormonal changes associated with early pregnancy can bring on depression. And so I started seeing a therapist, and that's helped immensely, just having someone to talk to about all of the different emotions I'm going through, and then just deal with the stressors. I was already feeling a lot of stress from work, and this was just the last thing on top. Now I'm pregnant, and there are so many unknowns about what is going to happen, and so I invested in a good therapist. Thank you to my lovely health plan that allows me to do such a thing. Another side effect that I didn't realize I had was nausea, and I assumed that morning sickness for everyone meant that you were throwing up all the time when you woke up in the morning. I never actually threw up, and knock on wood, I still haven't thrown up not once since I've gotten pregnant, but I've experienced severe nausea to the point where I could not eat, and I had a lot of food aversion, so certain smells I just could not tolerate. That subsided. Because I was so nauseous and because I had such strong food aversion, I was not eating as much as I usually do, and so I'm one of the weird people who actually lost weight. I lost about 5 pounds during my first trimester, but I can't really tell because my clothes, even though I'm losing weight, I'm filling out my pants differently because my stomach is all big, and so I'm still increasing in size. And I mentioned a little bit that because of the hormones I was feeling exhausted, but I also was feeling fatigued. I found out later because I am slightly anemic. I was taking a prenatal supplement, a gummy. It tasted really great. These taste like candy. These are probably not good for me. I got at Walmart for about $8, and I actually did not finish that pack of prenatal vitamins because there was no iron in that supplement. Once I had a blood draw for one of my prenatal visits, they did an analysis on my blood and found that I was iron deficient, which meant that I was slightly anemic. And so since then, I got on a prenatal that has a high level of iron, and that my energy levels have rebounded. And that might also be because I'm entering the second trimester, and now the placenta has taken over the hormone production, and so there's less HCG in my system, and so I'm less likely to be nauseous and fatigued. Whatever it is, thank God, because this has been so much better. So all of that happened in the first trimester. I've been in the second trimester for about a week and a half, and it's been like night and day. Since I've started those new prenatals and since I've exited the first trimester, I've not been as nauseous. My energy levels have gone way up. I know that certain days I could not work the full 8 hours straight through. I'd have to pause for a nap. That has not been the case for the last few weeks. My nausea has completely disappeared, so I'm eating back on a regular schedule, thank God. Back when I was nauseous, I really could only eat mild foods, only things that didn't have really a strong scent, a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits, which is really good for my overall health, but it wasn't good for me getting a variety of food, and I missed being able to eat like a normal person, like I usually did. So that's what I've noticed in the second trimester, is that some of those symptoms that I had before are gone, my energy levels are back up, I'm more cheery. I was able to do meal prep, which is something I haven't done for the last 3 months, so I got up and cooked a whole lot of food that lasted us for a while. That's going to last us at least until next week. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this entrance into the second trimester, and I'm so glad that the first trimester is over because it wrecked me. And I've heard about it a lot, you know, in the media or from other people who've gone through pregnancy, that the first trimester is rough. But yeah, it's one thing to hear about it and another thing to go through it. Something I've been talking to my husband about is whether or not I think I would go through it again. It actually wasn't as bad as I thought. I'm glad I wasn't puking from the nausea, and I'm glad that I didn't experience a lot of weight gain. I didn't experience acne. There were certain things I didn't experience as a part of my first trimester symptoms that made me think that overall, despite the fact that I wasn't feeling 100%, and I felt like I just had a very long bout of a stomach virus or a flu. I could do that again. But we'll check in again at the end of this trimester, and then again at the end of the last trimester after I've given birth, and then we'll come to the conclusion of whether or not I did. Those are all of my first trimester symptoms. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to leave any questions, comments, or suggestions down below, and I'll see you next time.
Cats in your stomach, I see.
Hi, it's Nico here, and I am on the journey to becoming a first-time mom. I am 14 weeks into my first pregnancy ever, and I am waiting for this cat to finish scratching.